Right off the rip, I can just about guarantee that you're one of two types of people who would have clicked on this video. You're either from literally anywhere else in the world besides Texas, and you're mildly curious what this whole chili war could possibly be about, or you're from Texas, and you're probably already good and pissed off, am I right? Simmer down, Sam. No promises, but you might just learn something about your very own Texas history today. And maybe, just maybe, we'll all learn something about each other.
Shut up! Did I hear someone say shut up? Yep.
To kick off this deep dive into a disagreement that's a quintessentially American phenomenon, we're headed to Ohio, the Midwestern state with the East Coast attitude, where a franchise was born back in 1949 with a single restaurant in view of the Cincinnati cityscape that inspired the name Skyline Chili. Full disclosure, we're actually in Columbus, Ohio, not Cincinnati, but that in no way affects our mission to get the full scoop on Skyline Chili. Going in. Which has been touted by chefs as one of the top 20 most iconic American foods, as well as the best regional food chain in America. We're gonna meet Yasmin, a 5-year veteran server of Skyline, as well as one of her restaurant's greatest fans.
And I'm telling you, the first time I tried it, I was hooked.
Just come with a free roll of toilet paper?
But before we find out what makes Skyline Chili so unique and successful, we gotta pay our dues and make a quick stop in the Lone Star State, where chili was invented and in their minds perfected, and where no small amount of misinformation about the origin of chili is and forever will be propagated.
I dare you to step over this line. Okay, I'm a steppin'.
Deep in the heart of Texas, there's a firm belief that if you put one bean in this dish, and I mean one bean, it isn't chili. True story. Texans can sometimes take themselves a little too seriously. As a member of dozens of foodie groups, I cannot tell you how many thousands of Facebook fights have happened between Texans and everyone else on the planet. And when it comes to chili, those fights are almost always over beans. Here's how it always goes down. Texans are gonna tell you that chili, which holds a special place of reverence in their hearts as their state dish, was invented by and for Texas cowboys along cattle drives from the hill country up to railheads in Kansas all the way to Chicago. And in those rough and dusty conditions without much space or refrigeration in the chuck wagon, things like fresh beans, cheese, and tomatoes had absolutely no sane or reasonable place. True authentic chili, called Texas Red, had two and only two main ingredients besides water. Those being dried chilies and beef, and any other adjuncts were just bastardizing the sacred recipe. While that might sound convincing, the only problem with that origin story is that it's dead-ass wrong.
Them's fighting words.
The crazy truth of it is that chili was not invented on the cattle drive at all. It was certainly served on the cattle drive, and the two primary ingredients of cattle drive chili were dried chilies and beans. Beans not only were the #1 source of protein on the cattle drive, but it was exactly that bean-filled variation that spread the recipe all over America by way of the cattle drive. So you see, Texas, you kinda did this to yourself. So don't get mad at the rest of us for putting beans in chili, Texas. We didn't know what the hell we were doing until your cowboy caravans rolled into town and showed us. We learned it from you, Texas. We learned it by watching you. The true inventors of chili, and by chili I do mean authentic Texas Red, were not cowboys at all. They were the women of San Antonio. They sold their homemade chili in the military plaza for over 200 years, and they were known as the Chili Queens of San Antonio. In fact, there were absolutely no beans or tomatoes in those original recipes. These ingredients are still banned today in the International Chili Cook-Off in Texas as an insult to the heritage of the simple dish itself, which is beef, dried chilies, and water. And if you want to be truly authentic, you can't be using water from the kitchen sink. Oh, no, no, no. That's an insult to the dish. You gotta go dip yourself a nice, good old-fashioned bucket of water from the cow pond if you want to pay true respect to the heritage. Well, Well, now that we've learned the true origin of chili, as well as the origin of the whole beans disagreement, it's time to leave Texas behind and head back to the Buckeye State, where their chili products might as well be from a different planet than Texas Red. But you know what? As different as they are from one another, the real beef of the chili war is over beans, right? And Skyline chili doesn't have any. From a purist standpoint, Skyline chili is actually closer to the rigid Texas standards than the bean-filled chili that I grew up with back in Kansas. At Skyline, beans are available if you want them, they're just not in the chili. Along with mountains of cheese, raw onions, jalapenos, hot sauce, and pretty much anything you'd like to throw at it.
There's endless possibilities of mismatching, and like, we're just so flexible. You could just put whatever you want, take whatever you want out. It's just so good. I've been working here for 5 years, and I feel like that goes to show that the environment here is just it's so good. Like, you actually want to come in and work. And also, I started working here without ever trying Skyline, and I'm telling you, the first time I tried it, I was hooked. And ever since then, I've been eating it literally every shift. It just never gets old. With a good amount of cheese.
Just come with a free roll of toilet paper?
I'm so glad that you guys came in today and tried it.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
From the very first bite, you know you're not in Texas anymore. What makes the flavor of Skyline chili pop are the bold Mediterranean spices of the original secret recipe that was created back in 1949 by Greek immigrant Nicholas Lambrinides, who adapted his mother's time-honored Greek recipes to create a chili like no other. Yeah, you got your chili powder, your cumin and garlic, but what makes the flavor profile so unique are the chocolate, allspice, and clove, giving Skyline chili an almost Christmas-in-your-mouth experience, if that makes any sense. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room. What cranks up the craziness of Skyline chili is not the flavor, it's the fact that it's served over spaghetti. And while that might be the ultimate sacrilege to a Texan purist, it's really not all that outlandish to me. When I cook up a batch of chili at home, eventually combining some of that with macaroni and calling it chili mac has always just been an easy way of stretching the leftovers. In my opinion, chili's kind of like pizza. No matter what regional style you're dealing with, at the end of the day, it's all pretty damn good if you're lucky enough to have some in front of you. So whether you're in Texas, New Mexico, Kansas, or Ohio, enjoy those regional differences.
Pretty good.
Skyline chili might be the most iconic dish of the Buckeye State, but that ain't all there is to eat in the city of Columbus, so be sure to stay tuned for our next Unfocused episode where we're going to be getting our German on.